Hi, I'm Caleb Faust, lead developer here at Great Lakes Hand, and we make sure that the data flow of your organization stays on track. You see, at many small to medium-sized organizations, there's a man who's working in the back. His office likely works something like this, and we can call him Jim or something like that. And his job, or at least part of it, is to manage probably a data storage server, just something that stores all of the data for your organization. The problem, though, is that perhaps he's only there maybe a couple days a week. He works half-time or something like that, and for that reason, he can't be there all the time when something goes wrong. So, in the event that something does go wrong at your organization when he's not there, well, what do you want to do? First of all, you might ignore the server that keeps beeping. That's not my problem. The average person probably is not that interested in digging down into his office, apparently, and fixing the server. Second of all, you might notice that backups are failing and continue not to do anything about it. That's just how it goes. I personally wouldn't. Third of all, and here at Great Lakes End, sometimes we've realized that this can be the worst, is you try to fix the problem yourself, which can have its various amounts of success and make things a lot worse too. So, where do we come in? Well, we like to think of ourselves as a gym that's there 24/7, 365. You see, we offer a unified software and hardware solution, at least to our current customers, that maintains the data, it monitors the system, and it makes sure that everything is running as smoothly as possible. A good example of this is that often when something goes wrong, we'll know long before you do, and be there as soon as your office opens to work on it. And that's as simple as it is. It's very easy for us to maintain that kind of quality, particularly with those kind of services. A good example past that is that if something goes wrong with the system, say the hard drive or something like that, we can have a drive shipped out there, and as soon as our pal Jim over there gets there, he can put it in right away. So, data storage. It's kind of nebulous as to what that all entails and how big of an industry it might be. Well, in the current time, it's about a $13 billion a year industry, with a projected about 16% market growth. That's a lot of cheddar. Particularly in the next year, it's expected to grow by about $2 billion, and we'd like a little bit of a chunk of that. We feel like our product is auspicious enough and good enough to be able to provide the kind of services that people who are entering the market are looking for. Our customers agree. A man from American Metal Technologies, a $60 million yearly revenue company, Larry Page, the CIO, says, "It's one thing to say my backups were restored. It's another thing entirely to say that we lost a year's worth of data and got it back in minutes." That's a true story. It did happen. And we feel like the rest of our customers, with a smattering of different locations, like a library and the Wisconsin Land and Water Initiative around the southeastern Wisconsin area, feel the same way. Who are we? Well, first of all, we have Christopher Harrison. He's the CEO, Sales Support Lead. He's sitting over there. He's been working in systems engineering for Big Iron since 1999, Big Data Systems Management since 2004. I myself am the lead developer, and I specialize in the product development. I've been working in software architecture and development since 2008. In addition to our small team, we have an advisor, Michael Peterman, who runs an IT firm that specializes in solutions for small to medium-sized businesses, and therefore it can offer some good input onto what our product is. So funding. Since we opened our doors in 2011, we've put it in entirely by ourselves, and more accurately, Chris has done this. And he bootstrapped us with the 40K, as mentioned here, and helped drum up our first 12 customers. And before that, we had about 2 beta customers running for 2 years before actually officially opening our doors. And it was a success. In order to expand here, though, we would really like to be able to do that a little faster with some, an extra grease, so to speak. We're looking for about 250K. We feel like it's a good amount that would allow our product to grow as it should, and more importantly, our profits to grow as they should. What would we do with that? Well, we would add key marketing and sales personnel. Especially when doing sales calls, it becomes an issue where we are not salesmen. We've done it so far swimmingly, I might add, but we'd like someone who's more well-versed in that, particularly with our image and selling to the customer directly. On top of that, we need some support personnel. Our intricate monitoring systems don't monitor themselves. They do, but we still need somebody on the end to make sure that everything's going as it should. And that's very difficult for 2 people to do just in their average time, in addition to the standard responsibilities that comes along with running our company. We would also like to contract out some web UI UX improvements, because it's always great to be able to improve our product, and that also ties into the research and development investments that we think would really contribute to the success of our product. I'm Caleb Faust again. I'd like to invite up Christopher Harrison for the Q&A portion of our presentation.
Questions?
So I guess I'm a little confused on the offering. It's probably more me than your message, but for example, how do you compete with Box or Dropbox, or what's different just in cloud storage? But it sounds like you're offering other IT support services as well.
Sure.
I'd like to defer that question to Chris because it seems like he'd be more. I think we have a slide for that actually.
So we're an on-prem and cloud storage provider. So we actually have a physical device that sits at our customer locations. So it really is looking at replacing the the system that sits underneath Jim's desk. And if we take a look here, I'm sure you can see there's a file server underneath there someplace.
Sure.
What we're really looking to do is there's a whole bunch of these file servers that are currently out in the marketplace right now. What we want to do is we want to help our customers no longer have to worry about that old arcane system that was set up by Jim, who might have left 2 years ago. And we replace it with managed service for the data storage.
And I think that it serves adding that for a lot of the companies that fit our particular demographic, their data is either too big or just doesn't really fit the way that the cloud works particularly well. See, the problem with the cloud is that you're almost always just syncing back to the cloud, which involves a very big internet pipe, and often it's a little bit impractical, particularly at our size, which tends to be in the order of multiple terabytes. It becomes difficult. And so that's sort of the niche that we fit into.
Plus, also, the cloud infrastructure that you talk about still needs someone to manage it. So we really kind of play that role as well, as we're a data management company. So we help manage the corporate data. Very good question, thank you.
So the device that you have, does that sit on top of an existing server that somebody can buy off the shelf, or the existing hardware? Are you supplying the server as well?
We supply the server as well, in addition to the software, our software that runs on top of it. So it replaces that.
Okay, so it's not an interface box that allows you to monitor the parameters. It's the actual server.
It is, yes.
But it stays on site.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Have some software installed then?
Yep.
So what's a? I mean, give me a use case. Who's your target business? Because I mean, not every business has an IT person on staff, and I mean, even if they do,
Well, ranging from the small Wisconsin Land and Water Initiative, which has about 5 to 6 people working there and actually no IT on staff, they seem to run our systems just fine. It's very easy for them. They have no complaints, and it works well for them very well. Ranging up to the 300-person American Metal Technologies, which does have IT on staff. So it seems like the solution that can fit both of those. It's just something that we play to, particularly when pitching.
How do you price your service or your model?
I'll look for that to Chris.
Yeah. So this is we're a subscription model. So we have a monthly tiered subscription based on the usage case of our given customer. So if a customer needs responses within 15 minutes, for example, they're going to pay more than someone that can be down for like a couple hours. All of our systems are also remotely monitored in the cloud. So everything that happens on the system, we know about it. We can find through our support packages. We actually will notify customers with whichever support package they purchase. We can notify them in real time about issues that they might be experiencing, or as we've experienced that with a couple of our clients, that we actually were able to notify them that they were having an internet outage before they knew that they were having an internet outage. So, and that's all part of the different tiers and subscriptions.
Are you using a third party for your offsite storage and data recovery?
We do that all in-house.
You do.
You said that if there's a problem overnight, you can be at the office in the morning. Is that one of you two? Is that Jim? Is that a third party? And how do you handle scalability in that?
To be quite honest, usually it's us. I mean, right now, and so like scaling up with some funding would certainly take that off of our shoulders a little bit. But right now, that's us, and
This is
it's okay.
Can I
You can
also-
step in.
Okay. So this also ties into our